out there? Hope you're all doing well. This is the very first Project Discovery live stream. Let me know in the chat if you can hear us, if you can see us, if everything is working properly. Hopefully, we will be seeing our faces a lot more each month. If you've come here through Discord, if you've come here through YouTube itself, through any of our social channels, hello, it's so good to see you. You may know me from around the community. My name is Georgina, and I am the community manager over here at Project Discovery, and I'll be hosting today. And when I say hosting, what I mean is introducing. So this is going to be the first of our developer live streams where we get a couple of our Project Discovery developers to chat with you all, just say hi, tell you all a bit about the really cool things that we're working on in the company currently, give you some ideas, and also a really cool chance for you to ask questions. So live to anyone who's presenting in any of our live streams. I can see people in the chat already. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. You can see me clearly. Perfect. That's amazing. So without further ado, because we have a ton of cool stuff to talk about today, let me introduce you to Prince and Tarun. They're going to talk to you a lot about Nuclei and a bunch of templates that we're working on. Yeah, waving and saying hi. So let's go ahead and get started in that case. I believe it was Prince, you're going up first. So let us know a little bit about what you're working on. And I will be in the chat in the meantime, just taking a look at your questions. So fire away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Prince, and I'm basically from India. I work with a templates team at Project Discovery. So everything around templates, the Nuclei templates repo, our team work to like add recent checks and maintain the repo, triage all the upcoming PRs and all that stuff. And today, basically, I don't have any agenda in mind. We'll just let me just start with sharing my screen. It's more like a interaction with the community. I'll be just going through the Nuclei templates repo and talk about the stuff that goes behind the scene. And if you have like basic idea about all the templates and checks, we have Nuclei templates repo. So we will be going into details, and also I think this will help you guys out to maximize what you can like maximize the maybe you can use the Nuclei templates more effectively. So let's get started. This is the Nuclei templates repo where we add all the templates comprised of wide variety of checks, be it a CV, a vulnerability, or just a OSINT template about threat hunting. We have a very, very wide variety of templates. And we release templates every 2 weeks. You can simply head over to releases and you will see recent releases. So every time you run Nuclei, if there's a new release out there, Nuclei will automatically fetch it, and you have all the new trending CVs to scan your asset for. Heading back to Nuclei templates. So let's get started by viewing the all the files that we have in the repo. We'll be talking about the interesting ones only. So first one, Nuclei templates is basically run by the contribution of community. So we have a separate contributors.json file where let's say you have contributed to Nuclei templates repo and by an author name, then you can also add more details about you, be it your GitHub, Twitter, LinkedIn, or a website, and maybe show to the InfoSec community about your contributions. And let's say if you have contributed something and someone needs little help or maybe something around the template, they can always reach out to you from here. So if you are an active community member and you contribute to Nuclei templates repo, it would be a good, you can always raise a PR, adding your GitHub, LinkedIn, and Twitter handle in this file. Moving on, we have top 10. So in this file, we basically have all the top 10, be it tags, author, directories, and all that stuff. So in this repo, we have around 2,500 CVs, which is the most number of templates tagged. And then we have CV and followed by other type of templates. And then these are the active community members. Thank you everyone once again. So Dhyaneshwar is one of our top contributor, and he's also luckily in the templates team. And then we have the Fine for DV Sawant and so on. Then we have directories. So basically in HTTP directory, you will see 7,500 templates, and then templates filtered by severity. And then moving on, we have a contributing.md. So in this file, you will find all the details about how you can contribute to Nuclei templates repo. If you haven't contributed to any open source project or in a security tool project, so this can be a good starting point if you find a vulnerability and you want to share it with the community so that everyone can scan their assets and the internet would be much more secure. Then you can follow this guide. It's very straightforward. You just have to check if we already have that template or not. If we do not have a template for that particular check, you can fork the project and basically create a branch for the template and add the template in the respective directory. If it's a HTTP CV, so you can open the HTTP directory and the year of the CV, and then add the YAML file, and then GitHub add. Then GitHub commit basic GitHub commands, and then push your changes to the branch to the GitHub. And then when you open the GitHub repo, Nuclei templates repo, you will see a notification to raise a PR, and then you can click on it, and a PR would be opened here for the templates team to review. We get a lot of PRs every day from the community, and then so this is how you can contribute to Nuclei templates repo. And I would highly encourage community members to contribute as much as possible. Then moving on, we have workflows. I would say this is kind of depreciated. Workflows are basically used for, let's say, if you have a template for a particular product, that is tech detect. Let's say I have a tech detect for Cisco, and then if a Cisco template is matched, I would want to run all the CVs around Cisco or any like WordPress instance or any other product. So this is why we have added WordPress workflow, but I think this is kind of depreciated, and we would be soon replacing it with a better option, that's profile. I'll talk about it in a moment. Then we have SSL directory. So in Nuclei templates, we have different type of protocols. So SSL is one of them. In this directory, you will find all the SSL related checks. Bug bounty hunters would not like finding SSL related results in their scan output, but this is something important for different compliances and pen tests. So that's why we have SSL checks here. This is a simple template that detect for it's an info template. It's not a look. It will not look for a vulnerability. It would just basically list out the issuer of the SSL certificate. Moving on, profiles. So this is something that would be replacing workflows. Right now, what most users do is they simply run Nuclei, and then it would run all different templates in the repo. But then we have to there are like different users. For example, there are developers using Nuclei, there are pen testers, bug bounty hunters, and then there are thread hunting guys, or maybe someone doing red teaming using Nuclei. So the use cases for every users would be different. So that's why we have created profiles. So let's say if you want to scan your infrastructure, then you can simply run AWS Cloud Profile. If you want to scan just for the compliance, this would be a best template for it. And if you have no clue and you want to just scan your asset, we have a recommended profile for you. You can simply run the recommended profile. I can also show you how we can run this profile, run any profile for that matter. Let's say uh, I want to run a profile just for, because I know all my instances are around WordPress and I just want to scan for WordPress. So I can simply uh, select the WordPress profile. TL is a flag that would simply output all the templates in this profile. Let's see if it works. So you can see these all templates are just related to the WordPress profiles, and you would not be sending a lot of traffic to your assets if you want to just scan for WordPress. Let's move on to network. Network is also a protocol that we support. We have a lot of different directories like vulnerabilities, misconfiguration, honeypots, exposure, enumeration, and all that. If I open any random CV, you will see that using network protocols, even in different protocols, the info block would be same, and then you can see the TCP block, which will define the network check we want to perform, and then these are going to be consistent in all different protocols that we support. And what network protocol does is it simply sends out maybe raw or hex data uh, to write a check for a vulnerability, but it is like very limited because we have seen a lot of network exploits on different. Let's say we want to write a exploit for RDP, then sending simple hex data or data would not be enough. We would require something, a lot more functionalities to write such complex security checks. So for that, our open source team has added very recently added and very nice protocol support, that's JavaScript. So let me just go through any random example. Let's say misconfiguration, empty password. So you can see info block is just same, and even the matchers would be similar to all other protocols. And then the best part about this protocol is instead of writing a security check just using the DSLs that Nuclei support, because we have a exhaustive list of DSLs, but then there can be use cases that would not match what you want to try or what you want to do with a vulnerability. So in this case, you are free to write your JavaScript in the template itself, embed the JavaScript and write check for anything you want to scan for. Also, to make it more simple, we already have a lot of modules pre-imported. For example, in this case, you can see we have imported a MySQL module. You can simply define require and then any module you can import, and then you can use all the functions that is added to this module, and you don't have to write a lot of JavaScript from the scratch. You can simply use the uh, modules. I can also share a link to the documentation where we'll just open this link. So here you can see that all the protocols, JavaScript protocols that we support And if I head over to MySQL, MySQL, you'll see the classes we support, their properties, interfaces, and the functions. So you can use this documentation. This is all the modules are well defined in it, and then you can write template using JavaScript protocol. Then moving on, HTTP, everyone must be aware of HTTP protocol. This is the first protocol that was added to the engine. It is the most simple. You can add a base URL or a raw request and simply write a template for vulnerabilities. And in the top 10, also I've mentioned that we have over, I think, 5,000, 6,000 templates just for HTTP protocols. Uh, but we just don't have the vulnerabilities or CVs written on HTTP protocol. We have a lot different categories of template. The users don't know because day to day we are through the contribution from the community. We keep on adding a lot of different use cases. But when someone just simply runs all the template, he is not aware of all the checks that he is running and how extensive checks we have in this directory. So you can see we have a directory for token spray. Let's say during pen testing engagement, you have found a random token and you don't know what that token is about. You just have a string looking like a token or access key. You can simply run. Let me just show you how you can run it. So basically, GitHub, the templates, HTTP, and then token spray, and we have to test token. We just have to pass the token variable. As you can see uh, in the template, it's defined that the templates expects user to provide a token variable. So we can simply run this, the random token we have found, and press enter, and all different services on the internet would be scanned against for that particular token. And if it's a valid, and then you will have a match. So it can come very handy when you are doing maybe red teaming exercises or pen testing, even for bug bounties as well. Then we have technology, simple tech detect templates. If you want to detect the attack surface area and the tech data that someone is using, so that you can plan your attack accordingly to the products and the applications the company has. And then we have a takeover. So if you are a bug bounty hunter, you must have heard of takeovers, how popular they are in bug bounty scene. So these are all the bug bounty takeover templates. And if you find a use case, different type of takeover, or if you came across any edge case, and if you also came over like any false positive, feel free to raise a issue, and we'll work on it. Then we have a lot of templates like misconfiguration, miscellaneous, honeypots, some exposure, default login. This is also something very common in pen test engagements. We see a lot of dashboards running on admin or simple default setup. So these comes very handy during that. Also, then we have credential stuffing. Let me just open any random uh, example. And let's say if you're testing against a target, and from from the data breach, public data breaches, you have found email ID and address, password for company's employees, and you want to use that password on all the services out there. You can simply similar to token spray, you can define variable username and password, and you can run it on all the services. It can be cloud or it can be self-hosted. We have checks for different. Let's say if someone is hosting a company is hosting GitLab and you want to check for password use, you can run these templates against the target. Then helpers. So there are a lot of templates which require you to provide additional file. For example, if there is a vulnerability that require you to upload a zip file or maybe uh, upload a CSV file in this case, then helpers directory is the place where we save all the payloads around that exploit or CV. So this is where you can find the word list that we use in the templates. For example, previously I've opened a MySQL JavaScript template. Similarly, we have a MySQL JavaScript template that looks for default credentials. So we have a list of credentials, common default credentials here that the template reuses. Then we have headless protocol. Yes. So this is like we have a different, very wide type of templates in this category of templates in this directory. Let's say if you want to screenshot all your assets, there's a template, headless template for it. It basically do is it would open up all the targets in a headless browser, take a screenshot and save it in a directory. And then we have a template. Let's template that extracts the URL. So it would load a website, extract all the URLs, and print it out using extractors. Then we have a file protocol. Let's open Android because this is something I use a lot in Android pen test. What I do is, let's say if I want to test an Android application, I'll simply download the APK file, unzip it, and then run the file, run the unzip full directory against all these templates. And most of the time I would be finding maybe Google store bucket key or something like that. So these templates these template runs locally. If you provide it a file or a directory, it would go through the content of that directory and then look for the matcher. So let's say if there's a misconfiguration that an Android application allows backup, it would simply looks for it. And we can also mention an extension that we should be looking for. In this case, it's all, but I think XML would be a better extension for it. So I'll update it after this stream. Moving on, we have DNS templates. These are also like basic DNS checks, but then we also have a lot of takeover related cases for which we uses DNS protocol. So this is one of the example for that, Azure account takeover detection. And one, then we have our DAS. So this is something that we have added recently, and it is, we are still working on a lot of checks and also encourage community to write check for this particular category, which can be helpful for everyone looking for fuzzing their applications. For example, let's say if you are doing bug bounties, you have accepted a lot of URL from different tools like Wayback More or Wayback website or any other tools, or maybe best Katana. If you are using Katana and then you have crawled all the URLs, then you can uh, run these templates on the URLs. For example, we have a CV directory and then text for cell. This is RC template. So what this template does it, we have a precondition. So if there's a GET request, for example, if we have provided a URL, then it would replace all the parameter values with the payload. This is the payload for text for shell text for shell RC, and then here we have defined what we want to first. We want to first the query, so the query parameters would be first replaced using this payload, and then this template would check for any interaction or callback, because we have added up interact SS placeholder here. So if there is a callback, I think then it would know that it's a vulnerable host. So this can come handy because the rest of the templates we have a predefined uh, endpoints to them, but when it comes to DAS scanning, uh, we have to basically fuzz all the parameter values or maybe JSON, XML data, GraphQL, and all that stuff. So also this protocol also supports open API and Swagger schema. So you can simply, if you are a if you work in a company and then you have a Swagger schema, you can simply pass it to the as an input to the DAS templates, and then it can fuzz all the parameter values. You can find more about it in the it should be in the documentation. I can. We also have a blog post around it. Let me just search for it. Project Discovery. And then it was recently added in the V 3.2 release. So you can check out this blog post for more details. I think we have a separate blog post, and that is in more uh, that have more detailed explanation about how to use DAS scanning. And I think also Tarun will talk about it, touch upon it in his talk session. And so this is what I was sharing. You can see we have a different types of paths that we can fuzz. We can also fuzz headers, cookie, and body, and so on. This is the way, like a raw request, and we can define which part we want to fuzz using Dast. So you can go through this blog post for more details, but today I would not go into the details. Uh, it's just you can go through this directory and you will see a lot of examples. So if you want to, even if you go through the vulnerability directories, we have created a different type of different folders based on the vulnerability types. For example, if you want to fuzz the application against XSS, you can simply see we have a reflected access template here that simply checks for injects the payload in the query and checks for if the query is if the value is reflected in the response. So like this, we can cover a lot of different type of vulnerabilities. You can go through this uh, directly, and if you feel like we are missing on some vulnerabilities or we can improve the payload or the way to of detection, please feel free to create an issue or discuss it in our Discord channel, or maybe raise a PR for that. Moving on, we have another newly introduced protocol, that is code protocol. So in this directory, you will see a lot of local privilege escalation exploits. We have just added for Linux, not for Windows and other platforms. But you can see we have I think we also have a CV for recent privilege escalation. Oh, okay. We also have a template for infamous XZ backdoor. So using this code template, you can detect if you are affected by this uh, backdoor. So in this template, we have support for different engines. So like all other protocols, we simply define our check in the template, and then using Nuclei engine, the check is run on the target. But in this template, as the name suggests, the code, so the code would be executed on your local machine, and then you can use, so basically it can extend the type of checks you can write. I'll explain this in the next cloud templates. So basically, you are free to use all the applications, all the tools that you have on your system, and then write a structured YAML format for it, and define matchers, extractors. Everything would be similar. You can define variables. So let's move on to our recently added category. So we have AWS templates. So as you can see, these are all the different type of services, AWS services that AWS offers, and we have code templates for it. Let me just open example EC2. So as you can see, this template checks if the infrastructure or EC2 has the IMD v2 enforced. If you do bug bounties or just pen testing and you come across a lot of SSRF on AWS infra, so you must be aware about this. If if a company is using IMD SV1, then the metadata of the AWS instances would be exposed via SSRF attacks. So this is something that checks for it. We have added a flow. So flow is nothing but simple functionality that controls the execution of the template. For example, in this case, you can see we have a code one. So this means that the first code block would be executed first, and then when the first code block is run, you will see that we are using extractor named instances, and then there is a loop that would iterate over all the values of instances. So basically, simply what this code does is it would extract all the EC2 instances in your account and iterate over all the values of instances, and then set the value of EC2 instance as the name of the instance extracted here, and then it would execute a query that looks for if metadata options, and if if the metadata option is optional, that means the your EC2 is misconfigured. And so I was talking about the code template. So you can see that in this template, we have just simply typed the code of simply use the AWS CLI and then all the parameters values. So this is something similar to what we do uh, on our system. For example, uh, if we execute this command on our CLI, I think, okay, the region is missing. And then in the template, we have defined region as a variable here. So if we have defined a variable in the template, so the CLI command, so all the variables would be exported as environment variables, and then to reuse in our command, we have to use it as a variable. So you can see we have a variable region that we are reusing here. So I think this should work again. Okay. We have the region argument flag without the value. I hope it works. Okay, so the key is not working. But you must have got the idea of what we are doing here. So we have all checks. We have checks for all different services that AWS supports. We are like missing out on a few services, but we have all the major ones. So uh, if you do pen test, or if you work in a company that or audits the AWS infra regularly, maybe for security, maybe for compliance, then you can use all these templates. And we also have a blog post written for it that will help you. There's a walkthrough which you can follow to write your own check specific for your infrastructure. And this is it. We have covered everything around Nuclei templates repo. This is the issues section, and we regularly get a lot of issues created by the community that are maybe for requesting a new template that can be reporting a bug in a template, reporting false positive, false negatives. In nuclear templates, we have talked about it a lot of time that your template is as good as the matchers. So at times there can be a matcher that is too strict. Then in that case we can get a lot of false negative results. And alternatively, we can also have weak matchers which would result in false positive results. So if you come across any of these cases, please feel free to raise issue for it, and our team would fix it as soon as possible, and then it would be released, added to the next release for everyone to use. In the PRs pull requests, you can see a lot of community contribution. And if you click on it, you can see it's PR number 10,074. So that means we have already closed close to 10,000 plus PRs in this repo. Thank you, everyone, for their contribution. And uh, let's just quickly discuss about what's next. So, as you have seen, we have different types of categories added to the repo. Uh, and then we have also started focusing on in more infra and cloud related checks. We have covered a lot of AWS checks. So next step would be Kubernetes. Kubernetes is something that is like very complex for even developers. So the security for Kubernetes cluster and the infra is seen very complex. But to make it easy for the users, we have listed out around 35 templates so far for it. You can go through this PR and read the description, check out all the example templates. I can also run it for you. I have a local cluster running. So let's simply run it, Nuclei. I hope it works. Nuclei templates, cloud, Kubernetes. And just to add, in order to run code templates, we have to provide the code argument flag. Because in code templates, we are basically running commands on our own system. So at times it may not be very, it can be like risky from security perspective. But so we would not want to run code by default. Not everyone would want to do that. But we have all the templates that are checked by our team. So we make sure that all the templates are valid, and they do not have anything that someone would not like to run on their system. But again, to add a additional layer, if you do not want to run those templates, don't provide this flag, and they won't bother you. They would be just sitting in the directory. and then let's run it. Okay, looks like some issue maybe. Kubernetes. Let me check if I have the cluster running. Let's see. Oh, okay. So before this stream, I stopped the Docker. So I think that's the issue here. So meanwhile, while the Docker container is running, I think it's good to go. You can see that we have a lot of vulnerable, uh, not vulnerable, we have a lot of misconfigurations in this Kubernetes cluster that I have set up locally. You can see critical vulnerabilities, high, medium, and all that. I can also GitHub. Nuclei templates, and then cloud Kubernetes. You can see we have different type of different directories which have different type of checks. So these are the most important uh, these are the most important components of Kubernetes cluster. So we have like deployments that in this templates we would check for all the deployments. In this directory we have checks for network policies, and then we have security and compliance related checks here, and we have everything around pods in this directory. So feel free to go through this, just git clone this branch locally and go through these template, use it. And this is still open, and we have already received great uh, feedback from the community. But if you have something, please share it with us. And then before I end this, I have something to share for all the our contributors. We have a leaderboard that is still not public, but I am just sharing it for in this stream. So it is public, but it's not like publicly announced. So if you are in this stream, you would be looking at for the it would be public for the first time. Here you can see all the templates that we have filtered out, not filtered, but the percentage of templates by the severity. Then we have CVs as the top category, total contributors 852, and then we have critical templates. Then we have a proper leaderboard that can be filtered out by the year. We can visit the social profiles of the contributors, or maybe if someone if some template helps you out with bug bounties, you can simply visit to their social profile and say thank you if you want. And so yeah, this is it. And thank you everyone. And I'll just ask Georgina if we have any questions.
Thanks so much, Prince. That was really, really cool. Thank you for sharing everything. It was super insightful. Hopefully, you all enjoyed that as well and got some insight into what we're doing. We don't have any questions in the chat yet that I can see. If you have anything at all that you want to know from Prince, from Tarun, whatever you like, please don't hesitate to share it in the chat right down here in YouTube. If not, that's totally okay. What we'll do is Tarun has a bunch of stuff to share as well. So let's go ahead and present all that. And in the meantime, if anything comes to mind, once again, drop it in the chat. We're all going to be there capturing your questions, and if there's a chance at the end, we will do a Q&A session. But for now, Tarun, please go ahead whenever you're ready.
So, hey everyone, I'm Tarun and I'm from India as well. And I'm a Go developer here at Project Discovery, and I mostly work in open source team. And in open source team, it would mostly involve maintaining our flagship projects, libraries, adding new features, fixing bugs, and experimenting with new features, and a lot of other stuff. So, similar to how Prince shared out a brief overview of Nuclei templates, the project, and as well as different types of templates, I will quickly go over like all the things related to Nuclei, so that that way you better understand the Nuclei engine, as well as uh, some ways you can contribute to the Nuclei project. And so hopefully after this, we might see some of you in PRs maybe. So firstly, if you want to if you want to like know all the projects of Project Discovery, a good place to visit would be the Project Discovery organization. And as you can see here, we have more than 100 projects, but like we can say that there are almost 15 to 20 our main flagship tools or projects, and apart from that there would be multiple libraries which power these tools, and maybe some forks of unmaintained libraries that power Nuclei and other open source project as well. So like again, one thing I want to mention is that we recently have moved the documentation of each project to a separate website called docs.projectdiscovery.io. And this is like, if you are new to Project Discovery or Nuclei or any other Project Discovery tool, this is a good place to start. And this as well is open source, so if you find there are some uh, typos, or if you want to improve the documentation or request something else, you can go to the docs repository in GitHub and uh, create a PR with the fixed typos, maybe improve documentation and so on. So, so starting with the tools, these are all our flagship or main tools. And we have like added so much stuff about each of them, but in this live stream I will today only focus on Nuclei, and like various components of Nuclei, how Nuclei works, and a lot of cool stuff. So like, if you are new to Nuclei, this is the first page you should visit, like what it is and how it may help you, and what are the different ways you can use it, and so much cool stuff. And if you have been following Nuclei like from maybe for a long time, you would know that from version 3 maybe, yeah, so from version 3 we have added like lot of cool stuff, very new features, protocols, different types of support like flow, multi-protocol, and so much cool stuff, even authentication, various fuzzing improvements, and so much else. So like, if you like, there are many ways to install Nuclei, but like Go is the like simplest one maybe. And once you like install Nuclei, for every release you don't need to like install using Go. You can just use the update flags we have. So like, actually Nuclei has many flags, and even you can see like, if you we also added examples, like basic examples to get you started with using Nuclei. And if you and we have divided flags into groups, so if you are like interested in knowing about certain group, you could also minimize it using like H flag. So for example, let's say update. So
Hello,
if yeah.
Tarun. Your screen is not visible. Are you sharing your screen?
Oh, I think sorry about that. Give me a moment. I think
The joy of live streaming. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Oh no, it looks like we may have lost Tarun for just a second. Of course, this being the very first stream, stuff is going to go wrong. So thank you for bearing with us. Hopefully he'll be back. He did mention that he had a couple of tech issues and maybe a laptop almost out of charge. Um, in the meantime, we might have to fill the space. Prince, I don't know if there's anything else on your mind that you'd like to share while we wait for Tarun to come back.
Uh, I don't have anything particular to share, but I think this.
That's okay.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah,
Oh, he's
so
back.
sorry about that.
Yeah, welcome back.
I
That's
actually
okay.
lost the tab where the live stream was, so I had to
Oh
stop the
no.
whole browser and restart. So, but hopefully you
That's okay.
can
Are you
see
okay
my.
with sharing your screen and everything is good?
Like, can anyone
Oh yeah,
confirm if?
perfect. Working now.
Yeah. So
Great.
yeah, so let's start from the help page. So if you want to know about any info about any flags and like what are all the flags available, you could always use the Nuclei hedge. And as I was mentioning, so the first time you install Nuclei, you have to install it using the go install command. And let me pull that. So just a second. I hope this is visible. docs.projectdiscovery.io. Uh, Georgina, can you confirm if this is
Yep.
visible? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's all working, no problem.
yeah. So this is the command I was mentioning. Go install. So the very first time you install Nuclei, you have to do it with this or maybe some other options we have here. But after that, like whenever we always show if your Nuclei instance is latest, outdated, or you are using a development version, and you can just verify that using by running just the Nuclei. And first time it may take some time because it will check if there are templates installed, configuring it, and a lot of other stuff. But as you can see here, this is the Nuclei version, and you can see I'm using the latest version of Nuclei, and the same goes with Nuclei templates. And Nuclei templates is auto updated, so you would always have the best and very latest of the templates, but that is not the case with Nuclei. And you would have to update it manually
Oh no, did we lose Tarun again? Okay, we might need to fill up the space. I think Tarun's actually lost his audio video again. It's okay. We have a few tech issues. Maybe we'll wait for him to come back.
Yes.
Once again, let me take a look in the chat. If anyone has any questions in the YouTube chat, please feel free to ask them. We're going to have to put together some elevator music to fill in the time. So while we
Mhm.
wait for him to come back.
I have just something to add. A few months ago, or maybe in this year, I have added a string randomly in any of the Nuclei templates release. So if someone from the community finds it, it's kind of a basic CTF. If someone finds it, you will getting a very cool swag from Project Discovery. So if someone is up for a CTF, just go check all our recent or maybe all the releases of this year, and then you can get a cool swag from us.
This is a great tip. And also, just in general, if you are thinking about contributing to Project Discovery, please don't hesitate. We love to see you there. We love all your pull requests. We love all your thoughts and ideas. It's the nature of what we're doing, and we can't really do it without you. And there is swag involved. We have stickers, we have packages of goodies for you. So if that's not a reason to share and give us some pull requests, I don't know what is. And I can see that Tarun is back. Is everything good?
Yeah. Actually, I hope I'm audible and my screen is visible as well.
I can see you, but I can't see your screen just yet. You'll have to share it.
Yeah. Now, what about now?
Perfect. Yep.
Yeah, so lot of stuff going wrong today, but nevertheless we are back. So let's continue from where we were. And like I was mentioning about the like Nuclei would automatically detect if you are using outdated versions of templates and Nuclei engine as well. And if it is outdated, it would show outdated here, and all you need to do is use the up flag, and it will update as well as print a nice release notes of what's changed in this latest version. And we also have like other stuff, like if you want to update your templates, power permanently disable check. But beware that if you like, you can disable the update check we have, but if you disable, you wouldn't know if you are using latest Nuclei templates as well as engine. And you would have to manually like look out for the updates, update like immediately, and it's a lot of hassle. So hopefully you would like use the feature we already have for this, but it's up to you. So coming back, if you use Nuclei up, it will update, and you can use Nuclei and other Nuclei flags to update maybe templates, custom templates, and other stuff. And yeah, so this is about installing Nuclei and updating. And let's move on to the next stuff. And like if you are like very new to Nuclei, we have added a lot of like examples of how to filter templates by like tags, maybe author and severity, and so much stuff. And since there are too many options, like users might feel overwhelmed. So that is why recently we have introduced the profiles feature, which Prince had just demoed, which is a clean and scalable way to maintain your uh, even public or like custom templates. And run it in a automation or whatever the use case is. And these are all the use like basic flags that you can use, some advanced filters and so much cool stuff. And you can also run it in Docker, CI/CD, and Nuclei has integrations with these integrations with these platforms: GitHub, GitLab, Jira. So when you configure these, you can like there are a lot of options. Like you can configure these like at severity level. So if you run a Nuclei and it finds results, like the tickets or events are sent to each of these platforms. And if you only want to, let's say, send high critical and high to GitHub, and others to somewhere else, you can do all this stuff here. And if you are new, so please check this out. It also has Elasticsearch support, so if you want to maintain your results, search, or maybe do something else. And as Prince was mentioning about various type of input supported by Nuclei, this is the documentation about it, and we have recently added it. And if you go over the documentation, you can see like we have categorized the inputs of Nuclei into two types. One would be list type and HTTP request type. HTTP request type would include complete HTTP request, while list type would be just domain, or maybe just subdomain, maybe just IP, those kind of things. And in list type, there are like these all of these are supported domains, ASNs. This uses ASN map public API we have, as well as CIDRs, IPs, and lot of stuff. And in this HTTP request type, this was added in version 3.2.0, I believe. And this was primarily added for fuzzing, which is also a new developed feature we have for Dast. And so for this specific use case, we have added support for multiple sources. By sources, I mean it could be a burp suite saved items file. It could be your crawler output, or if you are using Nuclei to scan your organization, like you will most likely have access to the open API schema, and you can use those here. And if you are using open API schema, we have added some options, to uh, specify the input. For example, there are a lot of ways you can use it. For example, you can change the user IDs and run it twice to check for IDORs, and it's a lot of experimentation. So I will leave that to you. So this is the place if you want to get started with open API schemas and different types of inputs. And this is the new feature as well, authenticated scans. And like generally speaking, like most of the targets you scan will most likely have authentication, and the maybe the cool or vulnerable stuff will most likely be after the authentication step. So if you are just spraying nuclear templates on 1 million targets, and you may not be using authenticated, like you are not authenticating with those targets, you might be missing a lot of stuff. So earlier we had direct support for authentication. By direct I would mean like you would have to explicitly specify cookie, header, maybe basic or those kind of things. But we have like improved a lot of like improved this, and you can now use the dynamic authentication, which is like our version of recorded login sequences. So like one thing, like a lot of people have confusion about the new feature and why we use this instead of the login sequences scripts, is that like Nuclei is usually used to spray on multiple targets. So and login scripts would uh, usually require headless browsers, and if you are running this on a 2 GB RAM box, that might not work, or maybe produce a lot of false positives. And compared to that, we have this dynamic authentication, which leverages the existing uh, Nuclei templates, and you just have to properly specify those in config file and you are good to go. And since these are like Nuclei templates, they are fast, proven, proven at scale, and it's not new. So if you know Nuclei templates, you can always write these config files or default login. So like I just want to mention one thing, that Nuclei already has like lot of default login templates, and you can use the tags of flag to filter out these. And as Prince mentioned, TL is a flag to list out all the templates. And when we run it, we can see Nuclei templates all project already has these many default logins. You may call it recorded logins or something, but we already have this. So and the only thing you need to specify is this secrets file. And like as I mentioned earlier, if you have the header or the token, these go here, but for everything else that may fall into recorded login sequence, it goes here. And you would have to use the template, specify some variables, and the input where you want to like authenticate, and other options. Each of these fields and options are documented with examples. So please take a look at here, and if you find this is a new feature, so if you find something is not working or you have a new suggestion, please create a issue in Nuclei, or create a discussion of maybe some improvement or some feedback you have, and other stuff. And we also provided example here, but maybe that's a topic for other stream. And continuing, this is for tuning your Nuclei for large scale scanning. Maybe you're scanning on 1 million targets, 2 million, 500k or something else. This is the documentation you should visit, because from personal experience I can say not many people know what they are missing, and that's crucial, because this is like a security field. And even missing one vulnerability might not be a good idea. So please take a look here. And and again in version 3 we have seen that uh, lot, lot of users have like are requesting and opting to use Nuclei in their Go projects. And earlier it supported that, but we have revamped it so it's like too easy now to integrate Nuclei into your tool and like do whatever you want with it. And like even we have two different setups available. One is if you are running just one instance of Nuclei, and another is like if you are running it on maybe 100,000 targets, you would most likely want to run it concurrently. So this is for that. And so much documentation here, options. And if you find in like there is something missing, you could always create an issue. Or and if you're already like if you're using SDK, you would most likely familiar with Go. So please don't hesitate to create a pull request with your changes. We are very friendly, and we don't have like very strict requirements. And if you even don't know like if you feel like I don't know the process, or you could always create a discussion, ask for help, and maybe create a draft PR, and we will gladly help you. And yeah, we also have a suggestion for if you are running Go SDK, and lot of stuff to dig here, but this is for another time. And these are some facts, but feel free to check this out here. And now going back to the project discovery organization, I will also share quickly share the layout of Nuclei, and like what's and how you can contribute. But before that, I just want to specify this. So if you are like if you write Nuclei templates and day-to-day basis, then here is the place to check out. So this contains this is a new documentation page which is automated. So all the helper functions that are present in Nuclei would be available here, and this is automated weekly. So it will most likely be always accurate. And if like your use case requires a different helper function that is not present here, you could always go to this uh, repository, which is also open source as well. uh, yeah, it's called DSL. And if you're familiar with Go, just create a PR with whatever helper function you want to add. We already have like many functions added, so you could use those as a reference to create your own and add some documentation. And we would gladly review it and accept it and release it with the latest Nuclei. And like if you are someone using the JavaScript protocol, and we also have like maybe Flow, we also added a lot of documentation and helper functions that are available here. And we have categorized it by protocol and use cases. So if it is like also the Flow is powered by JavaScript runtime. So huge shout out to the Goja project which we use for embedding JavaScript runtime in Nuclei. And these are the functions available here with examples as well. And these are specific to the Flow if you want to dedupe, and a lot of other cool functions I would say. And this is also the new one added. So for example, if you're writing a core protocol template, and let's say you are writing a Linux privilege escalation template, and you would most likely wouldn't want to run it on other platforms. So we have made it easy now. You could use those helper functions in Flow and decide where your template runs. Maybe you are targeting specific architectures, that's also supported here. So please go through this documentation, like if you are using JavaScript protocol. And like similar to helper functions, we would always welcome if you want to add new helper functions, improve documentations, or something else. And coming back to Nuclei, so this is the Nuclei repository we have. These are the issues, pull requests. We currently have some features coming up, but and you can create issues here. And if you think this is not an issue and maybe you want to discuss something, you could always create a discussion or head out to the Discord server we have, where we always respond. So you can create like discussion here or a thread in Discord. And now moving back to like the repository, this is the dev branch. Like uh, the release cycle of Nuclei is approximately every 2 weeks, but like it may change. And I just want to specify one more thing is that this Nuclei, we also call it Nuclei engine, that we don't support any long-term release or support for previous versions, because a lot of people believe that like we see that many users still use older versions, but I just want to mention that we don't support it because Nuclei engine and Nuclei templates are a single and whole project. And if, like for example, if a template, a new severity, like a new vulnerability drop, and we have a template and that requires some change in the engine, we would immediately add that feature and release new version of Nuclei, and we wouldn't wait for the long term support or those kind of things. So like I would always encourage you to use the latest Nuclei version. And like if you are someone who writes templates, like we would appreciate if you use the dev version, which has the new features that are not yet released, and that way we would reduce the feedback cycle. If you find some issue or maybe a feature some issue with the template maybe or something else, before and fix it before it is even released to everyone. And now about the layout, we have some examples here about using SDK, but like let's first focus on the PKG directory. This is the we would say internal packages that power Nuclei as a whole. And we just saw the authentication related feature, and all of these is logic is present in this package. So if you want to add OAuth support or maybe let's say external integrations to one password vault or something else, this is the package to go. And it's like uh, neatly document, it's simple, and we have made it modular, so you won't have to dig through a lot of documentation. And as I mentioned earlier, we always welcome new PRs about any kind of improvements. And this is catalog is about loading templates from file system, or we also support loading them from AWS S3 buckets and other S3 compatible buckets. And this is core is about executing Nuclei, let's say executing like in this package, roughly I can say that this is where we decide like how to iterate over templates and run each template on each target and their combinations. So again, if you find something here, please create a PR. And this I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier, but we also support external providers or integrations for storing and using your custom Nuclei templates. And these are the ones we have here. It's we support Azure Blob, GitHub, GitLab S3. And if you want to add your own or maybe some other source, this is the interface. So just create new PR, and we would gladly integrate it in Nuclei. And this package contains all things fuzzing, so fuzzing or dashed. So all the new features related to fuzzing are present here. We have categorized it by parts and components. For example, this is for body fuzzing, component, cookie, header, and other stuff. And this is data format. For example, is it JSON, key value XML, and all those stuff. And next is input. So like we just saw the documentation about the input here, and all of this logic is present in the here. And if you want to add some new support, you just need to implement these interfaces we have, and it will just be added to Nuclei without changing anything else. You just need to add it here. And moving on to the next, this is the installer. So if you it was internal earlier, but we have made it public now. But this is a installer for Nuclei and Nuclei templates. So if you want SDK level access and want to maybe install templates from GitHub, and we have all those helper functions here. And this is the JavaScript protocol we have added. So this package contains all things JavaScript. It may be like compiler, execution, and runtime here. And mm, so some fun stuff here. So since Goja is a runtime, we have all the libraries. Let me pull up all the libraries here. So these are all the modules or libraries we call, and these are all actually Go libraries. So we have some of them, but if you want to, let's say, add a new module, let's say for example for encoding, decoding, or maybe uh, mm, for iterating or maybe unpacking APK files, it depends on the use case, but this is the place. Like you just need to find out the Go library and add it here, and you could then use it in JavaScript protocol. So these are all actually Go libraries, and this documentation is automated as well. So when you click any of these fields, we have fully added example to each and every field. So you just need to uh, click on the, like, locate the field you are interested in, and you will always have an example on how to use that feature or library or that function. And if you, like, as I mentioned, if you want to add new library, just add it here in the library section, and that's it. So it's easy to add any new library. We just have only one restriction, that we don't prefer CGO projects, because it would add external dependency, and we would prefer any libraries that are written in pure Go. And the fun stuff I was mentioning is that to generate all this documentation, we had it, like, we did some hacking, I would say. And since these are all in Go, we added a generator which converts this Go code to TypeScript interfaces, and we would just use some tools to automate all the documentation. So fun stuff here, and as well as lot of automation we use. And these are some simple helper functions. These are like, this is a loader, as the name specifies, for loading templates or workflows. And these contains operators, contains all things related to matchers, extractors, and features related to that. And this is for output. This is the progress bar, and some small use case ones like types, but like skipping those, we have this templates package which contains all data related to loading templates, passing them, compiling them, signing them, and all the stuff. And this protocol directory contains all protocol separated by a package. And it's actually very easy to add new protocol if you desire. And as I mentioned, you just need to implement the interface, and we are good to go. And this is like all the new code protocol, some common utils you could like we can reuse across protocols, DNS and JavaScript network. This is the offline HTTP, which is kind of deprecated, but you could use the already crawled the logs of crawler or burpsuit, and run Nuclei templates in a passive way using this protocol. And we also have WebSocket, but it's currently not, let's say, uh, up to date, or maybe less, we have less templates. So if you find something interesting, you could always contribute. So this was a mostly overview about the directories we have. And if you we have, so if you are interested in contributing to Nuclei, we have this huge number of issues open, enhancements, bugs, and lot of stuff. So you just need to decide what you want to work on. And if you need any help, feel free to reach out us at Discord discussions or create a draft PR, and we would gladly help. And yeah, I would say that is it for the Nuclei structure. And I also have set up a demo regarding the authentication feature. So maybe let's try that one. Yeah, so you know what, it's not working here, but it should work. So this is the target I have temporarily set up. It's a WordPress instance. I think it would open up here. Yeah. So this is a temporary WordPress instance, and I want to I will be showing a demo of how to use the authenticated feature, because we have seen that because this is a new feature, not many people know how to use it and are facing some issues. So this will be a plain demo. We have added all the required info in documentation already. So let's reuse that, and just you need to go to tools, Nuclei, authenticated scans, and here we have here. And like one more cool thing I want to mention is that uh, these are like modular, because like if you have a dev environment, prod environment, and you could easily uh, specify and maintain the secrets. One example would be that like all the public project discovery APIs have the same API key. So uh, let's say we just create a secrets file and specify the API key here as a header. You can already see the example here, right? So and whenever you are scanning, or like whenever we are scanning our infra, we would just use this already created secrets file, and it would work on all our public facing APIs. So it's actually great way great and easy way for organizations to uh, like continue scanning even in dev environments. And like I would say it's so much easier if you have open API schema and all the stuff, compared to like scanning normally. And I was going to mention about the WordPress instance, right? So this is the WordPress instance, and this is like I have not authenticated it, and I will try authenticating. So firstly, since I don't have a API key, I don't have a header I can use, and I have a username password. So I will reuse the existing WordPress login template we already have in the Nuclei template project, and use this placeholder. I have already mentioned that each of these field is documented, so you can just copy paste it and start editing after that. And you can name it anything, but let's call it secrets.yaml. And this is the YAML template I was mentioning. It's a WordPress login, nothing new here. It's already present in Nuclei templates repo. I just copy pasted it and added extractor to get all the session cookies, because if you're authenticating, the session is usually represented by using cookies or headers. So these are the cookies that represent authenticated session, and we will reference these in our secret file. So firstly, the template, so it's wordpress.yaml, and currently, since I'm running it in this directory, I don't have to specify the full directory, but you would usually want to put it in Nuclei templates folder or your custom folder, and specify the absolute path for that. And you can see here, this template requires some variables, username and password, and nothing else. So we can specify this username and password using the variables field we have here. And as you can see, we have already provided the name and name for username and password. I will just update the uh, uh, username value and password value. Since this is a demo, I just made it very simple. If I could remember, its username is Nuclei, and password is Project Discovery, and it's currently hosted on the target is at uh, yeah, it's on here. And so if so let's skip that part. And since we know the session is represented by cookie, we use cookie here. But if it is a header based session, we would want to use header. And this is a whitelist, you would want to specify Like for example, if this cookie or header works on multiple targets, you could specify a regex to use here, or some maybe a direct list of all the targets. And since this is I'm scanning one target, I will just leave it to dot star, which will match all the domains. And these are the uh, session cookies I mentioned, and we have the names of these extractor here: WP global cookie, admin cookie, and plugin cookie. And I have referenced these in here under cookies and raw section. Raw section basically parse the cookies, but if you have it in like key value pairs, you would want to use the name value, key and value fields. But since like this supports parsing, I'm just directly referencing it here. And that is all. We can now run it. So you could always use the help flag to list all the uh, flags related to that particular feature. And for authentication, you can use the help authentication. And you can see here there are two flags. The secret file contains the file I just showed you, which would include all the configuration related to uh, the username, password, and all the secrets. And prefetch secret is an option which will first fetch the secret, basically authenticate, and then run all templates. By default, it happens lazily. So if you have a large hundreds of secrets defined here and you are only running on particular target, the other ones will not be used, and the only one that is required is used. So this way you could only maintain a single file and use it every time without having to worry about changing them or storing and maintaining them. So I will just use run it against the target 9000. And like for simplicity, I will just run it on tech detect, but you could always run it on all templates. And sf is a flag to specify the secret file, and as you can see, it's called secrets.yaml. And I will use ps, which will prefetch the secrets. And yeah, that should be it. So let's run it. Looks like I think I might have changed the username, password, and like all the existing flags we have would work. Sorry, unresolved variables. So looks like I might have forgotten the username and password you used, but like this is the way if you want to use the secrets file. And you just I have a secret file containing all the let's say the bug bounty programs I work target on, work on, or test on. And that one file would be enough to scan whatever the target I'm running. And please always note that uh, you will most likely find more results behind the authenticated target compared to the unauthenticated one, because the authenticated features are not available otherwise, and you might miss a lot of cool stuff. And that might be one of the reason you are not finding vulnerabilities with Nuclei and Nuclei templates. And I think this will wrap up our stream here. And if you have any questions, uh, Georgina, can you share if there are any questions?
We do have one question. Thanks so much, Tarun, as well, for that. That was super interesting. We have one question from Christopher Morales, who says, and this sounds quite general, so maybe just a general overview. He asks, can you talk about the Nuclei template plugin? I don't know, Christopher, if you're still here, do you mean just a general overview of Nuclei templates? Or is there something either of you have specifically to share about templates? I'm not quite sure, but if you're still here, Christopher, let us know if it was something specific that you wanted to know about templates.
Like, if I'm not
Other
wrong,
than
I
that,
think he may be talking about Nuclei template burp plugin. I'm not sure. Please
got it.
confirm it, Christopher. But
Mhm.
I will just share something about that. So
Oh, he says a browser plugin for Nuclei.
Okay, so that's uh, project PDCP feature. So you know what, I think I might need to authenticate it. But Prince, do you have all setup ready? uh, Basically it's a browser plugin which will allow you to generate nuclei templates, and it will like use the current web page you are visiting. And for example, if you are reading some POC of a nuclei template and you have these uh, plugin configured, sorry, am I audible or something?
Yep, I can hear you, no problem.
Yeah. uh, Prince, do you want to chime in?
Yes, let me just set up the extension, browser extension. Just a moment.
uh, Meanwhile, I will show you the repository where it is present. I think it's called, yeah, it's called Nuclei AI extension. And like you can, for example, yeah, so let's go to example report. Sorry. So let's pick one of these. Yeah. So if I'm a bug bounty hunter, or let's say security researcher or something else, or even if you are someone who triages your bug bounty reports for your organization, and like you have, like someone reported this vulnerability, and you want to convert it to a template and run it as a part of CI/CD, or maybe run it on your infrastructure that is not publicly exposed, and you don't know much about nuclei templates, or you are a beginner in that field, or maybe you are, you know, just lazy like me, you could use this nuclei AI extension. And let's give some time to for Prince to set up. Basically you would have to install this extension.
Yeah, I can share my screen and do a quick
Yeah,
demo.
yeah, so I will stop presenting.
So let's say you have navigated to a website that hosts a POC to any vulnerability. It can be HackerOne report on activity, or any website that hosts POC. In this case, let's say we have a CV 2023 CV for reflected access. So, and we have our extension installed. I think. By just simply, yeah, we can simply select the uh, description for the vulnerability that includes any raw URLs and uh, endpoints, all that stuff, and then simply click on generate nuclei templates. Uh, so the content is here. We can simply click on generate. Okay, looks like I need to let me just log in and come back. Okay. Looks like there is some error with the extension. It is not like actively maintained, but it is basically a iframe for our PDCP cloud. So if someone wants to generate a template using our AI, Project Discovery AI, they can screen. So they can simply navigate to cloud.discovery.io, create a account, sign up. Anyone can sign up for a free trial as well, and then simply copy the vulnerability details and click on Start with AI. let me just copy it once again. Paste it here, click on generate, and hopefully our Project Discovery AI would generate a template for this vulnerability. Okay, so as you can see, this is a very proper, complete template with matcher containing the access payload and the raw request, the endpoint, and all the details. You can simply enter your targets or asset list, select your list from here, schedule a scan, and click scan now to scan it. Uh, Can Christopher, you can confirm if this is what you were asking for, and I'll stop sharing my screen. Over to you, Tarun.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually saw one more comment in the YouTube stream, and it was about uh, any tool you might suggest about automated pen testing report. And this is one of the, I would say, underrated or unknown feature, but like I have already set up, so I will show you. So for example, if you are running any scan, let me just demo it live. I think that would be very useful. So first, we have to create a PDCP account, and we allow like it when you create a PDCP account, uh, you will get access to the cloud.projectdiscovery.io, and it's basically free, most of the stuff, and it allows you to visualize your uh, reports, scan reports, and a lot of cool stuff. So for I will first complete the scan. Protocol type HTTP stats. Yeah. So I'm using this COA flag, which will which will upload the scan to my Project Discovery account, and it's a free feature, so you don't have to configure or put credit card or something. You It's available for everyone, and once you use this feature, you would see that this information in your Nuclei scan to view results on cloud dashboard. Visit the link, and once this is completed, you will also we also print the direct link to the scan dashboard. So let's give it some time. And one more thing, if you use the stats flag like I have used, it prints statistics about the scan. It's currently not 100% accurate, but uh, it will it will give at least more visibility on the progress. So, and it print logs the info every 5 seconds, and we can see this is our honey.scan message is our a demo setup. We have to test the templates and generate some results, and in 50 seconds it's already completed the 58 percentage. And by this time, the it's actually the uploading is asynchronous, so while we are waiting for the scan to complete, those are already added to the cloud platform, and you can actually view that now. I will pull that up in another screen. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, it's actually we can see here the scan was completed. 193 scan results were uploaded to cloud, and the direct link you can use to go to the web page. And I have already opened this, since I just mentioned this is asynchronous, and this is our new dashboard. So it's really easy to navigate now. These are sorted via the view is for class categorized first by templates, and once you drill down you will find all the targets of these, and a lot of cool stuff to explore here, ticketing and so much stuff. But I will keep it simple, and since Noor mentioned about automated the pen test report, and we have these exporting options. CSV JSON if you want to feed it to some other tool, but PDF you want to generate a like a PDF report of your scan. And once we click the PDF, it will in the back end, of course, generate the PDF and download it. And we can see here, and actually so you can specify the scan names, and if you have not, these are automatically generated. And there we go, we have our project discovery scan report, or pen testing report you might call it. And it's a it's like it's actually one of the new feature of cloud. And you could like it contains so much detail info about each of the template, the result and the direct link, the template, and all the things that you would require in a at a like pen testing report. So it's a free feature, so please give it a try. And this is available for everyone. You just need to sign up for the API key, and that's all. And if you are already using the chaos API key, those that will work fine. So, and you just need to use the CUP feature. And like it's not related to this, but I just want to mention that like if you have some 1 million targets, and you want a dashboard, you can visually you want to visualize this, just use some tool and distribute the targets on multiple hosts, and use this CUP flag. And you will the dashboard will be asynchronously updated, and you won't have to wait until the scan is completed. And like you can explore all the vulnerabilities and so much stuff here. I hope that answers your question. And do we have any other questions, Georgina?
I think that's it for questions for now. Yeah, I hope that answered your question, Noor Mohammed. But for now, as far as I can see, there is nothing else in the YouTube chat, which is totally okay. We had planned for this stream to run for an hour and a half, and we are way over an hour and a half by now. But that's cool, because now we know how much time we need for you all to show off what you're working on and discuss all these topics. So if there are no more questions, which it looks like there isn't in the YouTube chat, how about we wrap it up for today? I think we've given a ton of information, and hopefully you've all found it really interesting and just a fun experience chatting to our developers and seeing us in motion and at work. And hopefully this will be the start of a lot of live streams. We're planning on doing this once a month in some shape or form. It might be us three, it might be some different developers. Kind of depends on what we have to talk about depending on the month. But yep, there's nothing there. So thank you so much all for watching, for being here with us for our very first Project Discovery live stream. We really, really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed, and hopefully we will see you in the next one. So please also, before I forget, I should drop a Discord link in the YouTube chat, because we would love to see you all in the Project Discovery YouTube. That's where the community hangs out, where you can get answers to your questions from us and from the rest of the community and the developers as well, and just see what's going on and be part of our community. So definitely check that out. But in the meantime, we will sign off for now. Thank you so much once again for joining us today, and we'll see you again next month. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. So let's see you in our next stream.